is up? What is going on? And welcome into another episode of America's Hometown Horror. You got something to say there, Gato?
No.
Oh, your face is very red.
Well,
Seems like you might have something to say.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Oh,
I
okay.
appreciate it.
Anyway, never mind. My name is Mike. I'm your host. Thanks again, as always, for tuning into our show. Here's where you can find us online in case you're interested before you tune into our show. You can find us on our website, which is first and foremost ahhpod.com. AHHPOD.com. That's ahhpod.com. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That would be America's Hometown Horror. Just search for us. You'll find us. And you can also email us at hometownhorrorpodcast@gmail.com if you feel so inclined. Just so you know, also, we are now members of the... We are also now members of two awesome horror resources. First of which is Horror Facts Magazine. You can find us at horrorfacts.com. It's a great resource if you're a fan of horror, if you like horror things, like news, reviews, and
Booze.
booze, and horror podcasts just like ours. And of course, we're also partnering with Fangoria, the first name in Fright since 1979. Fangoria rocks. And just so you know, if you are so inclined, you can get a 20% discount on any Fangoria merchandise or a first-time magazine subscription. All you have to do is go to fangoria.com, fangoria.shop.com/hometownhorrorpod, and use our code hometownhorrorpod, and you can get a 20% discount off any merchandise that you shall choose. Anyway, all right, guys. Lady, gentlemen, Kat, Andrew, Matt, welcome. How we doing?
We're good.
Good evening.
I feel welcome.
We made it through it. Just so everybody knows, we're not all that drunk, but we are all pretty good.
It's been quite a long day, I have to say.
It's your turn, though. It's been a while since
It's the holiday season.
we've been the sober ones. And usually Mike's the rock.
I know, I apologize.
No, don't apologize. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
Mike's the
I'm
one that
looking
yells at
forward to
everyone
this.
else.
This is going to be funny.
Mike's
We,
like, Jesus, you guys are so drunk.
Oh my god,
Sorry.
At least I can read.
I think it's the time on your phone,
Can you guys
Captain.
just stop? Like, come on.
Oh, you're so making fun of me, huh?
Yes, I can.
Way
Good
to-
job.
Well, anywho, guys, it's been a fun couple of days since the last time we recorded. Anyone got anything interesting that they want to talk about before
I
we
watched
start talking
a
about
lot of
our
stuff.
movie? Yes.
I think we all watched it decent amount.
Yes.
All right, good.
Final
so,
push for the end of the year.
Yes.
Kat, you know what?
Push.
Why don't we start with you?
Okay.
Okay.
I want to
I
hear what
watched-
you have two big thumbs up for, and then you're going to go, it was good.
Oh, okay.
Thumb and a knuck.
Yeah.
Let's see if everything that she watched is in fact horror.
So I watched the new Hellraiser that you guys talked about.
Oh, you
Okay.
had
I hadn't watched
You
that.
hadn't watched
No,
that.
no. I liked it a lot. I liked I liked kind of the new twists on the chompy
I'm not
Cenobites.
saying it.
Cenobites.
I don't say that word.
The Cinnabons.
I call the sea people.
The sea people, the Cenobites.
The C words.
Yeah, I like the one that actually has the chompy one.
Xenomorph.
Like the one with the big like.
Yeah.
Yep,
that
you
one
can see
was-
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one was cool. And then the new Pinhead was kind of cool. It's like kind of feminine-y.
The Hell Priest.
Very,
Yeah.
very. It's more plays off the source material.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Other ones.
technically like a sexless being.
Okay.
But obviously this one's much more
Yeah.
delicate, feminine looking.
Right.
But still packs punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that guy, I forget his name, but the guy who was the guy at the end with the machine thing in him or something, he was kind of weird.
Yeah. They set up well for a sequel,
Yeah.
for sure.
It was good.
So, yeah.
I liked it. I like that. And so...
I'm sure there'll be a sequel.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Well, and the whole, like,
Hell yeah.
moral of the story, it's like, well, you lost all this stuff and you should not have, like... And I was like, bow on
What was the
that.
moral?
Well, like, she chooses, like, at the end when she opens the gate or whatever, and she has a choice that she can choose whatever out of the phases or things, and... Why are you laughing?
Because when you said there's a moral of the story, and then the moral of the story, I
just
had no
nice.
idea you said what
Well,
it
because
was.
it's
It was
like,
just like, no,
she
no, no,
chooses
come on.
nothing out of
Yeah.
everything.
I like- no,
I choose a
I
bring
just wanted to,
anyone back.
Bring anyone
Yeah.
back,
I just
and
wanted to
her
make you
brother and all that
elaborate on
stuff.
it, just because it was fun. Mr. Zotis.
So I watched Hellraiser. I watched the whole Wednesday series on Netflix.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Talk to me about that.
I liked it. It's kind of like Sabrina-y kind of thing, where
Witchy.
it's like not really witchy, but like, you know,
Teen-driven.
Wednesday goes to this school that's called Nevermore that her parents went to.
Nevermore,
Catherine Zeta-Jones
Nevermore.
plays Morticia. And actually, it's
Luis Guzman.
Yeah.
Luis Guzman is in it. Catherine Zeta-Jones. Christina Ricci is in it.
Oh, she's in this one too?
Yep. Yep.
So is it
Andrew's
funny?
like, yeah.
It's cute.
Yeah, this is one I'll probably
Pass.
sit out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I was like,
It's
this
cute.
is more like for like teenagers to watch, or like
Yeah.
females.
Yeah.
Not the.
Yeah,
I do
know.
like Jenna Ortega though.
Jenna Ortega, yeah.
She's killing
She
it.
was really good.
Yeah. What was that?
She
that
was
she was
in
just
Prey.
in Prey.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
And she was in
And she
Scream.
was in X.
She was.
Yeah.
Was she in Prey?
No.
She was the little sister, wasn't she, in Prey?
I don't think she was.
I don't think
She
so.
was in Scream.
Yeah, she was definitely in Scream.
Oh, then maybe I had that.
She was in
confused.
Scream. That's
I
what
thought
it
she
was.
was in-
That's what I
I
thought.
thought she was Prey.
She's the little sister in Scream,
Oh, okay.
for sure.
All right, then maybe I have my movies. I probably have my movies.
Listen.
mixed up.
Full disclosure, I'm pretty hammered, so whatever I say tonight, hold with a grain of salt.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
Great.
Yes.
But I liked it. I thought it was awesome. There's a monster in it. I thought you'd maybe want to watch it if you had time. It'd be something.
A
that you
monster in the Addams Family show?
would- Yeah.
Really?
Well, because it's about like her. It's about her experience in the school that she goes to, and all these other people are like all the other students are like werewolves or like
okay,
whatever. They all
interesting.
have their own special gifts. Like one's like a seer, one's this. Like they all have different things. So it's kind of cool.
I can't believe you've never seen the like 1990s Addams Family.
No, never.
movies.
I once.
I probably did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good though. They're not
Yeah, they're
bad.
fine. I remember Uncle.
surprised you haven't seen
Fester. Yeah.
Yeah, Christopher
Christopher
Lloyd's in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my next watch.
Uncle
was
Fester.
After I finished Wednesday, I watched The Addams Family
Oh, nice.
for the first time since like I was a kid.
Yeah, I haven't seen those in forever.
But I was still like half watching it because I was like, oh, I remember the story. It was like came around the same time as like Beetlejuice. I feel like.
And
It
Hocus
was
Pocus.
1990, late
1991,
80s.
yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that had Christopher Lloyd, Christina Ricci, and that whole story. It's cute. I like that movie. I hadn't seen it in forever.
So you also watched the original Addams Family movie, though, correct?
Yes, that's what I was just saying.
That's not the original.
Well, the original was the cheap.
right.
Yeah,
Yes.
Not the TV.
It took
Oh,
a
it's
while
the
for them to
original
do the
movie,
show.
yeah, 'cause it was the-
I mean, the
a little
movie.
while,
yeah.
yeah.
I didn't watch the Values one after though. I
That
only
one's
watched
actually
it.
better.
I think I remember that one better. Yeah.
I just like the hand that wanders around.
Thing.
Thing.
So Thing is in Wednesday.
And then
a
Cousin
lot.
It
Cousin
is
It.
like
Cousin
the
It.
pile of hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
With the twins,
It's the
the
clump
twin
of hair.
sisters that are like conjoined. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's
pu-
it's
the
a
pubes.
cool little.
And that had who played Morticia? She was a very big actress.
Oh, I forget.
She's very, what's her name?
Cher.
No.
It looks like Cher though.
kinda
My
looks
God,
like
she has
Cher.
these like very.
Angelica Houston?
Yeah.
Angelica
Yes, that's
Houston
who it
is,
is, yes.
sounds very correct.
Nailed
to
it.
me.
Wow!
100%.
Wow!
Yeah.
Drunk Mike coming
Dug deep. Hey, we
Listen.
just lost like 3 trivia facts tonight because of that one.
Listen,
Wow!
I may not provide much throughout the rest of the episode.
I believe it's pronounced Angelica.
Let me provide that, okay? All right, there we go.
We
Yeah.
just blew a fuse
Angelica
on that
Houston,
one.
okay? There we go. There we go. Brother Danny Houston.
I saw his
The,
hair start
vampire?
to wisp back a little further when he was thinking. He was like, "Nyeh." And there we go. There's one of my noises for
Yes.
tonight. Now I'm conscious. Now I'm self-conscious of that. Mike's like, you make a lot of weird noises on the podcast.
We
I'm like,
appreciate them.
what?
Yep.
Well, I was saying if I did keep track of all the weird noises that you make on the podcast, it would actually make for a very nice little compilation.
Little soundboard.
Oh, that would be awesome. And then Mike and I watched the Creep Show Christmas,
We did, yes.
The
yes,
new one?
Yes, that's the only
Or
thing
the
I
one
was
from
gonna bring
last
up.
year?
the
Yeah.
one from last year.
Oh, okay. I hadn't seen that.
I don't think
It's
they're
good.
doing one this year. I
No,
didn't see it on the
this
Shutter
is it.
thing.
This is it for this year.
Yeah, but that was all. I watched a lot.
That's
I
a
did
lot for you. You watched an entire TV show.
I did, yeah,
So,
whole series. And actually, I started.
Do you want to talk about Creep Show Christmas at all? Or
I
you want me to
actually
do that?
started watching The Stand, but I didn't.
I mean, that's a long watch.
It's a very long
fuck.
watch.
The new one?
No, the old one. I tried to watch the new one on Paramount Plus, but for some reason it was not letting me watch it.
You weren't missing much, apparently.
No, but I
according
want to see it because I've seen the old one. So then I was kind of half watching the
Yeah,
old
but you
one.
you prefer those ones.
the remakes.
No, the old one.
I
You
the
like
old
the
ones.
original.
Right, I like the original. I like the original Stephen King
Yeah.
movies, TV shows.
It's got that
whatever.
nostalgia feel.
It
to
does, yeah. I remember when I was a kid when I first watched The Stand. It was a rainy day in the middle of summer when my parents summered in Marshfield, and I went to Blockbuster and got the 4 VHS like chunk and was like, okay, this is what I'm doing today. It was like 8 hours.
It's a commitment.
8 hours
Yeah.
of TV. I was like, oh.
And it's not like it has its ups and downs. Parts of it are definitely better than others, but
Yeah.
like there's parts that you're like, wow.
You're like, wow, this is
dated.
dragging.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But I like that. I
Yeah.
like that thing.
In terms of the Creep Show Christmas special,
Yes.
pretty fun.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
very fun.
Yeah. It's definitely corny as fuck.
Oh yeah, but it's fun.
Supposed
But
to
it's
be.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you like Creepshow stuff, it's definitely a nice little special for you. I mean, the fact that Creepshow put out a Christmas special, first and foremost, you should be like, yeah, okay, great.
Did it have worms in it?
It had no worms.
That's a shame.
No.
No worms, no tentacles.
Turtle.
Basically, it is, turtles.
Tortoise.
It had basically
A vampire, werewolf, all that stuff. In it, like
I'm sure I talked about this last
Yeah,
year
you
on the
did,
show,
yeah.
but like the plot, the vague plot is basically a group of, it's like a Alcoholics Anonymous group for were people. Okay.
Well, it's not where people. It's
Or where
shapeshifters.
They prefer they or us.
It's called
where. They're us people or
Shapeshifters
they.
Anonymous, which is actually the name of the show. So it's Shapeshifter. Forgive me,
I
Kat.
thought you were saying
Jesus
you're an alcoholic.
Well, Andrew, way to make me feel like an asshole.
Couldn't help
Anywho, it's called Shapeshifters Anonymous, and it's a support group for people that turn into monsters when the full moon comes. And there's a were-tortoise, a were-cheetah, a were
A furry?
boar, a were-hippopotamus, and a werewolf. And
Any
they
were-wombats?
basically,
No.
so like the loose plot is that all of these were-people fight Santa Claus. And
Yeah.
it's so awesome.
It's awesome.
So
You guys should
great.
watch it. It's really
so
good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
You get
What's
like the creep show.
Is that the animated one?
Yeah, it's not animated.
Okay.
It's live action. Yeah, but you get like so it's like Greg Nicotero's brother plays one of the characters. The boar.
Oh, there's
So
a
it's like yeah.
I don't like that. The were-board. It's too.
werewolf.
The Clash.
It's a clash of letters and things going.
Were-
One of my favorite, always, my favorite Christmas specials are it's not a special, but the Futurama Christmas episodes are always some of the best. You ever seen those?
Cat's on her phone. What's happening?
Well,
Oh, it's our
baby.
daughter. Okay, never mind.
Where it's like the robotic, like Santa Claus, and he comes to kill everybody. You ever seen those?
I've never seen any of those.
You never
no.
watched Futurama?
No. Well, I have watched Futurama. I've never seen that particular episode.
Oh, there's a couple.
Sorry.
It's really
No.
good.
Okay.
That's the jam.
Is everything okay? All right. Excellent. Andrew, Matt, I know you've probably watched a lot of stuff.
I only have a couple.
Okay, go for it.
I do have a little bit of news. There's a movie that's been kind of on my radar a little bit. It's based on a short film, and it's getting a Shudder and theatrical release early 2023. It's kind of been floating around in the Bloody Disgusting Fangoria circuit a little bit, called Skinamarink.
I just read about that today.
Okay.
It's getting a lot of hype for being a very fucking scary movie.
Yeah.
So, last time I had a movie I have a couple on my radar. It's this, and then that movie, The Outwaters, that we saw the trailer for during Terrifier 2.
Dude,
last time I had
Outwaters, I want to see so bad.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The last time I had a big radar movie like this, it was Speak No Evil. So, let's see if this can be as fucking brutal and devastating as
Right.
that.
And that's like a super low budget, right?
I think so,
That's
yeah.
what I've read about, yeah.
I know it's about these two little kids who are brothers in a house, and their dad falls asleep, and then all of a sudden all the windows and doors in their house are gone. And so
And then it goes
that's really kind of all I
I'm
Skinamarink.
gonna kill you.
but that's all like I really looked into in terms of plot. But I'm glad it's coming to Shudder. I think I'm gonna try to see this in theaters if it's wide enough. That
I'll
I
go
can,
with you.
Yeah, we'll check it out. So looks like it's gonna be mid to early January. So
As long as I can come. Sweet.
You'll always come, Michael.
I'm gonna come. But, yeah, looks like
As long as somebody comes.
looks like it's gonna be in early January 2023, at least on
fucking
Shudder.
pervs.
So, I did watch a movie called Curtains that was a 1983, 84, right around the same time as the movie we're going to talk about tonight. Basically, it's about this group of actresses that are going to audition for a movie up at this crazy mansion, and there's someone that's killing all of them. And the mask that this fucking killer wears is insane, dude. It is like just this like miserable hag mask with this long hair. It's this great scene where this girl, she's out on on a pond on ice, and she's got a doll. She's hanging out, and she like looks because she hears something, and this person's just skating towards her, and it's in slow motion. And it is such a good fucking scene. Like, it is scary, like, seeing her. And then she's got her hand behind her back and that mask. Like, I'll send you guys the picture because it's insane.
Okay.
And then she just pulls out, like, a scythe from behind her back. And the girl's like, oh, fuck.
Like a little girl or like a...
It looks like a little girl, but it's not.
Why does she have a doll?
I don't know.
It just seems weird.
It's like there's weird things that happen in these movies we're talking about tonight that are like
That's the
these
best.
are not like these are adults doing children's activities.
This is why these movies are the best. Like early '80s horror movies, because like these movies always start off with a fucking bang.
Yeah,
they always do.
But
like,
The Mask is very good. Like that movie is it's weird because I watched it on Tubi and like the quality is not good. It looks like you're watching a VHS.
I mean,
like it's like I think they just couldn't get a good transfer of the film. But either way, whatever. That's beside the point. It almost makes it better. But Curtains was good. I liked it. I'll watch that again. Yeah, the one I watched is a new movie this year that came out 2022. Wounded Fawn. Yeah.
Yes.
And this is out on Shudder. This is the Josh Rubin starred movie. He was in Werewolves Within, and there's a movie. There was a movie in 2020 called Scare Me that was pretty good.
Did you see Scare Me?
Yeah.
Okay, I have not seen it.
It was okay. It was like Werewolves Within, where it's like you're laughing most of the time.
Either of those. Yeah.
This movie was not as funny. This was definitely took itself way more seriously. It has a lot to do with Greek mythology, which I am not well versed in, and I think that kind of drove some of the third act plot line, and it kind of lost me a little bit. I was confused. I want to give it a rewatch because I want to give it a fair chance, but I also could just not know.
What if you just read all
enough
the reviews
background.
and then watch it?
I could. Like, I thought about it, but I was like, I could give it another watch.
Or you could spend, 30 hours delving into Greek mythology and be like,
right.
read like...
I could just make myself, God forbid I do anything to make myself a little smarter. But it's shot on 16 millimeter film, which is really, really cool. It looks like a 70s movie, maybe even a late 60s movie. Like, it really had a great, great touch to it. And basically what it's about is this guy who kills women. And he's taking this girl out. It's like a kind of an online dating thing, and they meet, and he's taking her to his like isolated cabin for the weekend. And things start to unfold, and it turns into kind of this...
Who the fuck agrees to do that on a first date?
It's yeah. But it turns kind of into this, like, revenge plot thing that completely unwinds, and it gets super out of control. It's very hallucinatory. Like, there's, like... It's trippy as fuck. And it really goes off the rails.
Is it good even if you don't know what the fuck it is?
It was entertaining enough,
yeah.
But it was like to the point of like being satisfied with like the actual story. I was kind of like, I don't really know what the fuck just happened. So that's why I'm like, I got to give it another watch because I don't want to write it off entirely right now because I just think that's unfair.
Because you just don't know.
Because that could be me. Like I just might not. Maybe I need to have this background of like.
But sometimes these movies though, like. You shouldn't go that, like, it shouldn't, the only people that should understand the plot shouldn't be people that know a lot about Greek mythology. Like, you're really limiting
that's why
your
I'm like,
audience.
Do I need
like,
to
what
know?
are we doing?
Yeah. But either way,
I
like.
feel like I know a little bit.
It was
like,
a fun movie
Clash
to
the
watch.
Titans, Greek mythology, or like.
Well, it revolves around, like, it starts off with an auction of this, like, this, what do you call it? Fucking little ceramic thing of, like, a Greek mythology scene. And, they like a statue,
a diorama,
a statue, and they're bidding on it, and he's one of the guys bidding, and then so this girl gets it, and he goes to her and is like, "Hey, this is unprofessional, but I'd love to buy that off of you, and I'll give you an extra $25,000." She buys it for like $130,000, so it's like extremely expensive, and like this is like an artifact. And so I think that has to do with some of like this mythos that comes with the story because it does unravel into this like insane supernatural fucking thing. But it was well done. It's just I couldn't fucking wrap my head around the story. So that's my only thing. But again, might not be on the movie. That might be on my fucking dumbass. So I might just have to watch it and like really hone in on it.
A lot of people are dumbasses.
It is a very pleasing movie visually to watch.
All right.
So.
I'll have to check it out. It was on my list after you told me about it.
Yeah, and it's just like this is what we were saying before. Like, just like I'm trying to just knock out as many.
Yeah,
of
this
these
is the month of
2022
December
movies.
is spent just bang, 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 bang. Let's go.
Bang, 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 bang.
Bang, bang,
Bang, bang, bang, bang. I'm like, bust out my guns.
Andrew, what do you got?
So I watched 3 2022 movies. Start worst to first. So I watched a Netflix original movie. I believe it was a German film called Old People.
A German film.
Interesting premise. The general, I don't really understand what, like, so basically it's this town in, I'm assuming Germany, they probably say, run down. Nobody lives there anymore. There's no, like, social value to this town. There's a fucking nursing home or an assisted living center that's still there with a bunch of old people that live in it. And everyone's they're completely understaffed, so they can't possibly take care of all these old. Nobody comes and visits these poor old people. They're just kind of left there to themselves. There's a couple getting married, and they have their wedding, and they still they go back to their old house where their parents lived to have the wedding there, and then they do it up. And they go and get their grandfather, who lives in this assisted living facility. Just a very weird place to go, very uncomfortable. Like 2 nurses were taking care of like 600 people.
Which, unfortunately, is...
Yeah, it's a very...
More accurate.
I mean,
than-
the moral of the story is don't forget about your old people. Like, they're people too. They matter.
Yeah.
So it has like this little bit of like in the first like 2 minutes of the movie, it talks about some like mythos kind of thing about, I don't even know if it's real or not. Like I read it and I was like, this doesn't even make sense because it was on the screen for like 2 seconds. Like sometimes like there's some sort of like, I'm not even going to get into this part because that was confusing. But basically this big fucking thunderstorm happens and all the old people lose their fucking shit and just start murdering everybody at the wedding. There's some brutal kills. It's fucked. Other than that, meh. Leaves a lot to be... Great concept. It's basically like a zombie movie where the old people become zombies and just start killing everybody.
I heard it's super violent.
It's very violent.
Like way more violent than anyone thought it was.
You wouldn't think it's going to be this violent. I think that's really the only thing this movie's got going for it. Because the story in general is kind of boring. And, I mean, I'd watch it for the violence alone. That's it.
I mean, I'm pretty right now. I'm not going to lie. Would you recommend that any random horror fan watch this, or is it pretty much anybody else?
It's a lot of work. It's a subtitle. It's German subtitles.
And where did you find this
It's
one?
on Netflix.
Netflix. All right, fair enough.
There's plenty of other movies to watch. I wouldn't go out of your way to watch this movie.
At least tonight.
So you don't necessarily recommend it that much. Okay.
I'd give it a 4 out of 10.
Oh wow.
It was all right.
Yeah.
Nothing
That's low.
special. I mean, it was a good idea, but the story was just so like, bleh, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it was just kind of like there was some scary parts. There were some great kills. Just didn't do it for me. Didn't really do it for me. Then I watched moving past it. I watched Resurrection with Rebecca Hall.
Yes.
2022
okay,
film.
so I've been wanting to watch this. How'd you like it?
Very weird movie. It reminded me kind of Men, similar to Men, not as weird as Men. Very weird.
Kind of as weird as
It is pretty weird. Timothy Roth's in it. Rebecca Hall's in it. Tour de force performance. Another just
Never heard him
absolutely...
referred to as Timothy Roth, by the way. Always
Tim Roth, whatever.
Both of them crushed the fuck
They
out
both
of their
did a
role.
fantastic
Yeah.
job. Rebecca Hall, like,
Powerhouse.
there has been some amazing... She has another monologue in a movie where it's not as nearly as long, but it's a really good monologue.
It's longer than the one in X.
Is it?
Yeah.
When she's talking to the intern or whatever she is in the thing, and
yeah.
it's like you're listening to the story, and you're like, oh,
But
fucked up story.
It's such a good way of like explaining the story.
Like what's
by
going
having
on
her
with
just
her.
fucking
Yeah,
talking.
and she does an amazing job with that.
It's fucking batshit crazy.
It's one of those movies that you finish watching and you go, ugh.
Yeah.
See, there's your noises for you. Like you watch it and you're like, I don't like that I watched this movie. I need to watch something else to lift my spirit.
Really?
Which one
even,
did you-
even for you?
Even for me, luckily I watched this second,
was
so
gonna
it
say,
didn't
was
even.
this your
So
second or
today, I watched 2 of these movies today. This was the second watch of today. So after watching the first movie that I watched, this was kind of like a walk in the park. Like, this movie's nothing. Like literally, like this movie, it's a very uncomfortable movie, and there's a lot of awkward scenes, a lot of weird parts, and it's very just uncomfortable. I'm not gonna get too deep into it because you gotta watch for yourself. Like it's on. You said it was on your list.
Yeah. for
Resurrection, so
Yep.
and you've seen it. You said obviously. So I'm not going to go too. We're going to talk about this a lot more come our top 10 for 2022. But the
Yep.
movie I watched directly before this was Speak No Evil
Oh,
And,
you did it. You made it. How'd it go?
So
You're gonna need a lot of Seinfeld tonight, my friend.
this movie, to put it like without explaining too much, if you take a can of Coke and you just shake it slowly for like an hour and a half and then just open it, that's this fucking movie. It's just a can of Coke waiting to fucking explode that you've been shaking all day, and it just ruins your life. It's like,
It's like a can of Coke you put in a microwave.
yeah, and like 55 Mentos in it at the end. And it's just the ultimate just like gut punch at the end. It's such a savage story.
So,
And it's
even
just-
even after having the ending spoiled for you,
I didn't have the ending of this movie spoiled for me.
I did
did.
spoil it in our scariest movie countdown.
You didn't? No, not this movie.
yes, he did.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
He told.
then.
Oh,
That's
so
good.
you didn't.
I'm
okay,
glad.
that's good. Then.
I just remember you saying punch. I don't remember you saying it was.
It is a gut punch. But I did kind of blast through like what
I think I went like this.
You might
I
have,
literally
yeah.
think I said hold on and I need to not because I
You
don't
did
remember.
earmuffs?
Yeah, I put earmuffs on for this and I'm glad I did because this movie. First of all, sorry.
Well, don't
this,
ruin it. I didn't
You
that's the
will
thing about this movie.
absolutely not
You
ever
will
wanna watch
never
this movie.
watch this movie,
Okay.
Yeah.
and you never
Then
should.
alright.
I mean, this vaulted. This is going to make it really tough for me to pick my top 5, maybe even my top 3 favorite movies of 2022, like new movies that came out this year, because it is up there with like
Vaulted.
a lot of momentum. I think the more that this movie marinates in my mind, it's going to come closer and closer to being number 1 because it is just such an horrific, just brutal story, and it is so well done. Like everything about this movie is perfect. The acting, the dialogue,
It doesn't.
the
There is not
writing.
one thing about this movie that's
And
bad.
there is nothing. I mean, the only thing bad about this movie is just
how
this
really-
movie is just bad, like brutal, like Boy in the Striped Pajamas, bad, like brutal, ending,
Devastating.
where it's just your
Heavy,
heart
yeah.
is just you finish it and you go, I'm gonna just go kill myself now because I
Yeah,
can't.
it's like that was a big one for me that I just kind of like turned my TV off after and I sat there for like 40 minutes.
This movie had
And
me
I
on
was
the
like,
edge of my
wow.
seat, like for the majority of the movie. But like the last 25 minutes of the movie, it was like on the edge of my seat, like kind of like moving and squirming around because I kind of knew what was coming, and then it was just so much worse than what I thought was coming, and I just
The last 25 minutes felt like you endured 3 hours of nonstop. Violence.
it was just all this
Ah.
build up,
Yeah.
build up,
Jesus.
build up, uncomfortable
That's how,
situation after uncomfortable situation,
Yeah.
tense, just.
I felt
just-
bullied. When I watched this movie and I felt bullied by the people that made this movie.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I felt like someone killed my cat after I watched this movie.
Yeah, it's really rough. Like, and it's like you have an idea of where it's going, and it just when it goes to where it does go, it's so fast, and you're helpless. You're just watching it, and you have absolutely nothing you can do. And I can't believe how.
Moral of the story:
And
Don't watch this
speak
movie.
your mind.
yeah, go with your gut.
Speak your
like
mind
if
at
you have
points in time.
if you have an instinct, listen to it. So, but this I agree. Like this movie for me is definitely going to be one of my tops of the year. I had anticipated it heavily. I heard it was really rough, and it was. You know when you like hear movies and people are like this is the most fucked up.
Yeah,
movie.
well,
and
you
then
don't watch
it and you're
it.
like, all right,
Yeah.
like it was pretty fucked up. This was fucked up.
Wow. Okay.
It was just, and it's just like there's so many questions you're left with, and it's just I can't believe how well they made this movie, and it's like I had a hard time recommending it to people because I was like I want people to watch this because it's so good, and I know people love the horror of it and this, that, and the other thing, but it was also like
so heavy.
you're gonna be so upset when it's done.
Oh,
It's
geez.
So it's like I don't want you to go through it. But if you want to, go for it. I had a couple
There's-
friends text me, and they were like, that was probably the harshest movie I've ever watched.
There's 2 scenes in that movie that I probably will never get out of my head.
Yeah.
They'll just be there, rotting in the depths of my fucking.
That says something.
Never.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's
Did you see that movie?
no, not yet. I think it's a good time to mention that our top 10 of the year is coming up. We're going to be mentioning what we all think is our top 10 movies of the year.
Choose
right?
your day.
Choose a day. Jesus.
Yeah, you gotta watch a couple more new
Yeah, I gotta
movies so
watch
you
new
don't
movies.
have to put that in
Do
your
you know
top
how many?
10.
You've probably watched a lot more new movies than you
Hocus
think you've watched.
Pocus 2
probably.
does not
Yeah.
count.
What do you mean? It
I'm
doesn't
up to like
count?
18.
Now you're down. Now you only have 8 movies.
Now I have no movies. That was like that's my movie.
Just
Wait.
bang out one a day for the next month and you're done.
Ah, just bang out one a day. Yeah, okay.
While the baby's sleeping.
Yeah, I I hate just sitting watching
We have
TV all
plenty
day.
of opportunities to
I
watch
know.
multiple
I know.
movies.
Lots of couch.
You should
banging.
watch.
we
How
got a
about
few
this
more weeks
tomorrow?
until that.
Here's your thing. You can watch Speak No Evil tomorrow by yourself on the couch. Why don't you do that?
I don't know,
Don't
by
No.
myself.
Watch Speak No Evil.
No.
I would love just to have the reaction.
Kat
Kat would be like, "I hate all of you."
I hate you.
While I appreciate your enthusiasm, I would dread to think about what would happen after she watched that movie. So, no thank you. No thank you! All right, so, anyway, anybody else have
Moving
anything
on.
else?
Your turn.
I didn't really watch too much. I talked about Creep Show
Christmas.
Christmas. That's pretty much it. That's all I got. Yeah, had a bad couple of days in terms of watching stuff.
That's
Yeah.
to be expected.
That's okay.
That's new for you.
Yeah.
Usually you've got like 4 watches.
Got a baby.
Hey, you'll get there. You'll get back. You'll get some in this week or next
All
week.
right.
Whatever. So.
So, hey, before we jump into tonight's iconic Academy Award-winning film, why don't we take a quick 90 seconds for a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
It's official. The critics' decision is in.
Spooky World is spectacular.
Enter the new Black Hole.
If you dare.
Or the new horror House of Wax. This year, don't miss the real Jason, Bobby Pickett, or Alice Cooper. Phone the 24-hour Spooky World hotline. 508-838-0200. That's 508-838-0200. Spooky World is just west of Boston and haunts every night from October 1st till November 1st. If you had the nerve, you'd phone 508-838-0200.
It's America's horror theme park. Spooky World.
Don't be scared. I'm the super sweet monster with the super sweet new cereal, Count Chocula.
Biffle, here's the super sweet new cereal, Frankenberry.
But I've got chocolate sweeties for monstrous chocolate flavor.
Well, I've got berry-flavored sweeties for monster strawberry flavor.
Count Chocula.
Frankenberry.
Hi.
Frankenberry.
Count Chocula.
Sleepy clovers.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
The new face of evil is going to scare you to death. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. It's a killer this year. Then be next door to the Abington Ale House. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. Eat, drink, and be scary. Go to bhmansion.com.
And we're back! Ladies and gentlemen, are we going to talk about Silent Night, Deadly Night? Because I am.
Yeah.
Always come, always
So,
bright.
let me say something, and I'll defer to all of you after this. One of my favorite things to watch every single Christmas season is the Christmas episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
And in the episode, Charlie Kelly basically realizes that his mom was a prostitute and had a bunch of Santas running a train on his mom. And he sees a Santa Claus at the mall and eats the Santa Claus's neck and beats the shit out of him and says, "Did you fuck my mom?" Yeah.
You fucking my
pretty
mom,
much-
Santa?
yeah,
You
pretty
fuck my
much.
mom, fucking Santa? Like, he just goes off on him.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's-
feel like
In front of
this-
children.
Yeah.
This movie is the feature-length adaptation of Charlie Kelly's Rage.
Pretty much.
But a long time before this episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia actually came out.
It's close. I would say Christmas Evil's closer because that guy's fucking main issues was that his mom was getting railed by Santa Claus.
I mean,
He was cheating on her dad.
there are lots of gratuitous breasts, which that's glorious. It's fantastic. It's
I like boobs.
Yeah, of course. And it's just
I like boobs.
I like boobs. I got worms. I mean, it's definitely
boobs and I got worms. Like, okay. This is interesting.
if you
Going
like
places.
if you like 80s horror and you like 80s horror movies, this is the type of movie that you are going to love. And with that being said, I will hand it off to you guys as my as the spooky hound dog is being a pain in the ass.
So, this was I was as we were getting into December, I was like, let's do some Christmas movies. Obviously, this is one of my favorite Christmas movies every year.
I can see why.
Christmas horror movies every year. This is it's usually the first one I watch. I've only been watching it probably for the last 4 or 5 years. It's a super sleazy 80s slasher. It has all the fucking tropes. You got over the top just storyline. It's got the cheesy acting and the cheesy lines. It's got about a baker's dozen boobs. It's got gore. It's got a fucking just demented killer idea, this, that, and the other thing. But it's all Christmas based, and for some reason, it's fucking great. I don't know about you guys. I love this movie.
I thought I had seen it. I had never seen it, and I'm glad I watched it because one of the most amazing things about this movie is the production value changes in a second.
It does.
In like 5 parts of the movie, it goes from like looking really good, and then I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Did they lose lights on the camera or something? Like,
so what happened was there was a theater that when they made it into the theaters, they didn't want it to be rated X, so they cut. Because when you notice that all those scenes happen, it's usually when someone's getting killed.
Very violent.
And so they cut a lot of the gore and like just kind of the things that kind of have to like bookend those little bits.
Oh, so those parts weren't in the theatrical release?
No. So, and then when they restored it and made it onto like all these streaming platforms and Blu-ray and this, that, and the other thing, they were able to find the footage, but it was kept so poorly that they couldn't risk like transferring it without destroying it completely.
Okay.
So that's why it's like, because it doesn't get there until they get to the toy store.
So yeah, and here's the thing though, that it kind of works really well in the fact that like it's almost as if it's almost as if the movie's just gone dark. And
I kind of agree.
I kind of like it because like it's like it was like so it happened when they got the toy store like right
it's a
before
lot of close-ups on his face.
Yeah, and it's just it's just really grainy and dark, and then he just murders somebody. So it almost works. I almost thought it was intentional for a second. I was like, oh, we're getting just like dark.
It gets into like this
seedy.
Henry Portrait of a serial killer kind of.
So it kind of worked because the same thing had happened like when the guys were sledding and he like beheads them. There was like multiple times where it was like very obvious, and I was like, are they doing this intentionally? But that makes a lot more sense.
That's because when I was watching it because I didn't remember It's funny because I watch this movie one time a year.
Yeah.
For how many years?
Like 4 or 5.
Wow.
And so it's like every year I'll watch it and I always forget that it does that, and then I'll look on the IMDb trivia thing, and you find the fact that it's like when you watch it on streaming or if you watch it on Blu-ray, there's a noticeable. It's like 6 minutes worth of footage that is in and out, in and out, in and out. So it kind of goes back and forth. But after that, like now that I know like exactly what happened, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But I do agree.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah, it gives it that kind of 80s VHS vibe. That's kind of like that Wounded Fawn movie. I was like, that whole movie looks like that.
It's shot in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
So, was this a first time watch for you?
It was. I thought I had seen it before, but I was thinking of some other. There's so many names that are all the same.
That was why I kept like hammering the title of it because I was like, this is the one you want.
Black Christmas, Dark Christmas,
there's Silent Night, Deadly Night, Silent Night, Bloody Night, Deadly Night, Bloody. It's just there's so many and it's all the same exact fucking movie for the most. I mean, not really, but like it's all the same idea. Like it's a Santa Claus killer.
Horror Christmas movies are very similar, but they're all great.
Yeah.
They're all really good because it's just so shouldn't be a thing, but it is. Well, I love it.
This got a huge people were like picketing this movie
because they were like, "This is Christmas."
Well, they were like, you're scaring my kids. Like now they think Santa Claus.
Your kids shouldn't be going to see this movie.
Well, it was like the poster and the trailer and everything.
Claus.
Like it's Santa Claus with like an axe and like climbing down the chimney.
Can we all agree that Mother Superior should have died at the end of that movie because she was a fucking bitch.
Oh, she was horrible.
She sucked.
I hated her so much. I was like, Mother Superior, go fuck yourself.
Well, it's funny. Mike was
You're the worst. Like this movie just goes to show like how poorly any government, state-run, state-funded like system works.
Yeah.
Like this poor kid had that traumatic thing happen in his life, and they were like, "You're a terrible child," and the kid's just like, "I don't know what's going on." He's just hiding in the corner because he saw his parents brutally murdered by some guy dressed as Santa Claus.
But it's his fault.
It's your fault.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, good. He should kill everybody.
I love the way that this is all set up, though. Like, so I'll go a little bit into like just the general plot. I mean, movies from the 80s, if there's no spoilers, like, you're not gonna...
You've seen it. Or you haven't
if
seen
you
it.
haven't seen it, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, there's no twist.
Horrible,
like, so what happens is it's a mom, a dad, a son who I imagine is like 6 or 7. It's kind of hard to tell what the age is.
Well, let's see. So it was
because then you see him
72.
later, and you're like, well, how old is he?
He looks like Channing Tatum in like Magic Mike later on in the movie.
Well, yeah, but like there's like the point where
30?
he's the kid in the orphanage.
Yeah,
too.
he goes from like a 7-year-old to like a 30-year-old man.
Yeah.
In 10 years later, I'm like,
but he's like a little ass boy, and then he's like a 10-year-old boy. So I'm like, well, how do you look so different? Either way, whatever. This is 80s. This is 80s. This is 80s horror movie magic at its finest. But
stud, just like
basically, it's the mom, the dad, the son, who's Billy, the main kid, and then the baby, who's Ricky.
Yeah.
And so they're going to visit the dad's father, and he lives in like a adult or in like a nursing home, basically, and he's not all there.
Yeah.
So while they're trying to get him to communicate, they're realizing like, yeah, he's not making it happen anymore. Like, he can't really facilitate anything. So the doctor's like, well, let's go over some reports. There's some new findings. The parents leave. The little boy's there. The parents have the baby. They bring him. So just the little boy, Billy. And so the grandpa immediately looks, and he's like, Christmas Eve is the scariest night of the year. It's like, because he brings all the presents to the good kids, but the naughty kids get punished. And so he basically puts this idea in his head that Santa Claus is a scary person. And that night, there's someone dressed as Santa Claus, robs a convenience store, kills the clerk. He's pulled over on the side of the road. He sees their car, waves them down, pretending that it's, broken down. And then at that point, he kills the family, slits the mom's throat. The little boy watches that, and then him and the baby are spared. And from that point on, it goes, and he just has this association of Santa Claus, naked boobs, and killing people.
Yeah.
Punish.
That's it. And so as the movie goes on, he gets older and he just kind of snaps, and then he just kills fucking everyone in his sight. So dressed as Santa Claus, and the kills are great.
Oh yeah.
It's so different every time. Like, he doesn't do the same thing twice. So it totally puts the girl through the fucking deer antlers.
Yeah. That's one of the best.
That was a good one. The box cutter kill,
and she's naked, of course.
Of course, she's naked
on the.
Why wouldn't
They're
she
all
be?
naked,
right?
The box cutter girl
on the pool table down below. Anyway.
Yeah, the box cutter girl in the
brutal.
store was tough. That was like the one
that was tough. But in all fairness, she deserved to die.
Yes,
because he's saving her from this fucking creepy rapist.
Dude, it's like raping her.
And she's like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah,
well, fuck it. You were just screaming for help,
right?
And then he choked that guy, which I thought was weird. Choked him with Christmas lights, and he was bleeding from his neck. I was like, how does that happen? What
could have broken the light?
Yeah.
Maybe, that could be it.
But he like lifts him over his head.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
Jesus.
he's like Michael Myers.
Yeah.
In this movie, like, he's a beast. There's some great lines in this movie, though. I forget the name of like the guy that owns the store, Ira. Who owns the store. And they just close up, and he's like, "Let's get shit-faced."
Immediately.
They have their holiday party.
It's like J&B or whatever that
they're like
scotch is.
Hammering booze.
Boom, 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 boom. I was like, this is the 80s. Yep.
Yeah.
And then there's just uncomfortable situations going on with women, and I'm like, oh, that's, there we go.
Yeah, it's
I have the mistletoe, I gotta show you something.
It's, in today's standard, it definitely is not, would never fly. But
what a fun movie, though. I mean,
that's why we have 80s horror
movies.
movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
But like I was saying earlier, the thing with these like early 80s horror movies is like the first 5 minutes of these movies, fucking bang. You always have this horrible kill scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like this kill scene remind me of like one of the first scenes in Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, where they're driving down a hill going
this could be like a
90 miles an hour. And the brakes just cut out, and it's just like, and they just go fucking launching off.
There's another sound effect right there.
Off, like, everyone's dying, and it's like, they just, like, these movies start off, and I was just like, holy fuck. Like, they kind of do that in movies now, but not to this level. You don't get that, like, first 5 minutes, just this massive, just death scene. Like, I mean, like, it's like kind of like Final Destination with those type of scenes that you get, but it's like, there's something about him that is just like, I watch it and I immediately just start laughing because like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love this movie immediately.
What did you think?
Well, it was funny because Mike said when we were watching it, he was like, I want to know your opinion because of like going to Catholic school, and I was like, okay. Going to Catholic school and being in that orphanage are not at all the same. Like, to be fair, I was like,
had you seen this before?
No, I hadn't. You know what? Like,
no Mother Superior being
but it was just funny that he said that, and I was like, I didn't go to a Catholic orphanage as a child. I was like, I went to Catholic school.
So
for
you weren't
13
like
years.
beaten or
I was not
slapped
beaten.
around
No.
Didn't get
by
any
these nuns?
No,
like,
I didn't- I-
in
Rulers.
now?
No, I didn't
Whores?
really get whacked.
You were a good kid.
No, I wasn't a great kid either, but they couldn't really touch it. I think, like, sometimes they'd roll up.
I
like,
don't
a
think she
piece
was
of
a good
paper
kid.
and,
Tides
like,
had changed.
Yeah, oh yeah, no.
I don't even think it
compared to,
mattered
like,
if you were a good kid or a bad kid. You were gonna get
you just
whacked
get
one
hit
way or the
anyway.
other.
Right? Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, I did not go to that. Like, but I thought that this was a funny movie. It's fun.
It
I
is,
thought it was
yeah.
cool because it's a Christmas horror movie, which you don't see a lot of besides like Krampus, the basics. Like, I mean, so I thought that it was fun that you suggested it because I was like, oh, okay, new movie. Who dis? Like, new to me movie, not necessarily new movie. But what the hell is Mike doing?
I don't think Andrew suggested it
When
to me.
the host is drunk and is just making faces at everyone else and throwing.
I had a feeling you were gonna like this one because I know you love slasher movies.
I do, yeah.
So this is a typical '80s slasher, but it has the Christmas vibe. It's got the fucking campiness and just enough boobs for everybody.
And I love that he just like showed up places he
just had no rhyme or reason.
Right,
He was just
and you're just like, okay, so this guy and girl are in a house, and he just axes down the door.
Here
You're
I
like,
am.
well, where the hell did he come from?
Yeah, who are these
there's
people?
no
Why?
rhyme or reason. And then like the guys that are sledding, like
the
he just
sledding
came out
scene
of
cracks
the
me up
woods.
because it's like this is what I was talking about earlier. It's like where '80s movies love depicting adults doing child activities and playing it off like this is what.
Yeah.
This is correct.
Right.
And it's like, dude, these guys are going mad slow.
Right.
Oh,
They are
they're
not-
using their hands.
Was
They're
there
not
a
going
hill?
fast.
They are
I don't
not
think
moving.
there was a hill.
And like they are like gassed.
Also,
Like,
why does every 80s child actor look like they're 37 years old?
Yeah.
Because, like, the children in that, I'm like, you're a 15-year-old? The guy looks
They
like he's
probably
50.
are.
I also love the fact that they used, they said fuckface. I was like, fuckface, yes. Let's say that. Let's use, if they only said Captain Fuckface, it would have been better.
Yes.
If they said Captain Fuckface, it would have been the best thing.
Also, what fucking dad creeps through his child's window, sets up a ladder to it, is dressed up as Santa Claus? Like, who does that? Like, remember that scene? Like,
Yeah.
when they were, like, arresting? Talk about, like, just
Way
no
to go.
holds barred, like, just shooting to kill for no reason. There's a guy in a Santa Claus, shoot to kill. And the
Yeah.
guy's like, bow, 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 bow.
Yeah, he almost in him for sure.
That was
In front of
probably
children,
not-
no less.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing too. Like, there's kids all around him, and he's just like fires away. I'm like,
Right.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ!
Just like
Yeah.
they were like
Yeah,
right
you could've
next to him. when
Shot
he
all of
them.
those kids.
Oh my
Like,
God.
I'm fucking boned. I don't even know what's going on. Way to go, Andrew. Yes. All right, you want to
Well, I'm just saying it was a wrongful shooting. For fucking
I can't wait.
Father O'Brien.
I can't wait to hear this episode. How chopped up it's
Oh yeah, he's gonna be very chopped up.
Father O'Brien, not to mention he was also deaf. So, which they said
Yeah.
later. They were like, oh, he's deaf.
Hey,
Oh, by the way, he's deaf.
It's like,
Oh,
well,
where's
that's-
Want to talk
that
about
info?
some 1984 horror movies?
No.
Yeah.
Yes, let's do it. Fuck
do.
you, cat. Let's do it. Hey, so the first one of note is Chud.
Yup.
Which is a great movie.
I just
Andrew,
got that on Blu-ray
thoughts?
the other day.
Yeah, I saw it.
Chud, fantastic. I love Chuds.
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers, right? That's what it is, right?
I haven't heard of it before.
You got 2 Home Alone alumni in that movie.
Hey, we
got-
watched Home Alone too. Is that count as a scary movie?
No, I
Why?
mean,
No, you've been fighting for that movie for years.
You have been. I'm sorry, it's not a horror movie. I mean, it's yeah.
If you're Macaulay Culkin,
It
it's
is a
kind
home-
of horror
it is a
movie.
home
It's
invasion.
movie. It's a home invasion movie.
Yes.
Matt said it.
But
I didn't
nobody
see it.
dies.
They come pretty close. I mean, the
Dies.
I
I
don't
mean, no,
Nobody
no one
dies.
No, you're right. What about the spider? Does he die?
No.
Spiders. Anyway.
Was that a Christopher Walken or a Charlie
That's
Day
Charlie
impression?
Day.
Both.
No, it was like spiders.
Yeah.
It was spiders.
We were just
Yeah,
listening
hey,
to
oh
Annie
my
Lennox, and I
God,
was like, what is
spiders.
going on?
oh boy.
A stinky movie called Children of the Corn that came out.
You
in,
don't like Children of the Corn?
1994. The original one? No.
No.
There's.
Do you?
I like it up until
no
the big
remakes.
explosion at the end.
Fair enough. Well, there's that, and let's see. Firestarter. That's one of the first movies. The first movie, excuse me, to feature
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore.
Yep.
Yes,
Nailed it.
Firestarter. Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Oh, I love that movie.
As
Not the final chapter.
the narrator would say, "Not, but it's okay." Gremlins also came out in 1984.
Banger.
I like Gremlins.
That's a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie. I'll argue that because people are like,
Fuck you, it is.
Christmas movie.
Takes place on Christmas.
The Hills Have Eyes, Part 2.
Classic.
Fantastic.
Gross.
Also directed by Wes Craven,
I like that one.
which I feel like, directed by Wes Craven, it's a worthy sequel. Should be considered. Yeah. Great movie. Let's see what else we have here. Ooh, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's another Wes Craven fucking banger.
Yes, it is.
What we got on there?
What else do we
What
have?
else,
Yeah.
Michael?
Silent Night, Deadly Night,
Oh,
The
yep.
Tenant,
Ooh, The Tenant's a great movie.
The Toxic Avenger,
I love Toxic Avenger.
Is that the one
a
with the bus
trauma
crashes?
movie. Yes. What?
Is that like the one where the bus crashes or toxic goo?
It's the one with
Yeah,
the
he falls
toxic
into the
goo
toxic
person.
vat.
Yes.
Yeah. The Toxic Goo Man.
Yes.
Okay.
Move on.
That's what we have for the year of our Lord, 1984.
Yeah, those are the popular ones at least. Company of Wolves is tight.
The Barbaric Beast of a Boggy Creek, Part 2.
Company of Wolves. That was like the Red Riding Hood one. Yeah, I've seen that.
I mean, do you want me to read everything? I certainly
No,
can.
we don't
Bloodsuckers
need-
from Outer Space.
Is that a war movie?
The Company of Wolves. Deadly Intruder, Disconnected. Don't Open Till Christmas.
So Don't Open Till Christmas just got a big, huge release for a new... it's either Blu-ray or 4K, and I guess that's like another banger of a fucking...
Huh, I've never heard of
I've
that
never
one.
seen it, but I guess it's big hype that it's like available on like...
I mean this in the
Blu-ray.
least offensive way possible. Of course you would know that. Oh my God.
it's only because I saw it on the thing I buy movies from. It was like brand new, and people were like shitting their pants over it. I was like,
Maybe I
I've never
should-
seen
What is it called?
Don't Open Till Christmas.
Don't open
The cover is just
What's
a
in the
naked
box?
Okay.
chick. I was like, wow.
Pants shitting defecation. All right, anything else about...
Have fun editing this one.
Yeah, right? This is going to be great. We
Give
have
me
to have the
shit.
uncut
I said
version.
one thing. You've said like 35 things.
Who said we need to anything? So
Well, at least what
okay,
I at least said it. At least said it.
You could for
You can
sure.
read it, but you should probably edit some.
well,
I mean, you don't have to edit what I said, but there could be.
When you go back and listen to this, you'll be like, oh yeah.
oh yeah.
I'm not a total trasher, like,
Anywho, all right, guys. What else do we have on Silent Night, Deadly Night?
Well, what did you think?
You
You
just
like it?
Silent,
sorry. We
but
didn't get to hear your.
Yeah,
opinion.
what did you think?
I thought it was great. I
You
had
did
a
like it?
great time. Oh my
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Boobs and blood. Let's go.
Boobs,
Yeah.
blood. Yeah.
Santa.
Oh my God, it was fun.
Santa, Sandy Claus.
Man.
Hey everyone, it's Mike from America's Hometown Horror, and just wanted to say thank you again for listening to another episode of our show, because of course, we would be nothing without you listeners. If you are interested in more local Plymouth podcasts, I would highly recommend you check out some shows by our cohorts on the Inebriart Podcast Network. That's right, the Inebriart Podcast Network, folks. In addition to America's Hometown Horror, you can find the Inebriart Podcast, Bar Talk, Theme Park Legends, Retro Redoctopus, and Old Colony Cast. Head on over and give them a listen.